Welcome to Narrowboat that James built. Well, thanks for joining me. Today I've got to carry on that unit in the galley. I need to install it and then kind of treat it a bit. I also need to put on some batten work on the side of the wall and some other uprights and stuff to kind of shore it up as much as I can for the moment. I say for the moment because I can't really do much else until I work out what sink I'm getting, and then I can batten around the sink, put some uprights in and secure it all in place. But for the moment, I've just got to get it kind of out the way and installed. Right, those bits are all dried on now. So I've taken the clamps off and I can offer it up. I've drilled a few holes down there so I can quickly secure it onto the melamine. Right, moment of truth time. This side here is quite stiff. I could saturate it in water, but the other times I've done that, to be honest, it didn't really make much difference on the ply. I've done quite a few different techniques of this. So yeah, I think I'm just going to offer it up with the screws. I don't really know where to start there. She's only in very kind of precariously, but screwed into the bottom, but really nice how it took the curves there. Version 2 is so much better than version 1. I've put the fridge back in place, and the spray foam coming off from the door of the fridge tells me that everything is in line, so this is good. And then now it also means that the worktop on this side, the width of it is exactly the same as the width of it on that side, which means making it should be a lot easier. That kind of takes the line pretty well. Quite happy with that. Kind of quite a basic scribe that was. But yeah, this is all gone in pretty nicely. Really, my main job is to shore it all up to prevent the crack happening again. So I need to batten all of these bits, shore up all of this stuff here. Then I need to go in with some fiberglass down that curve there and on that curve there. You'll see how thin that bit is where that knot was. So yeah, I've got to shore all this up, put a brace on that side there, clamp it in here so it's all kind of straight and true. And then, because all that stuff kind of dries quite quickly, I'm hoping I can get some varnish on it so I can start to bring out the grain in it. Because I reckon that bit there is actually going to look really nice. That there will be pretty good, but you see how the grain comes out with the varnish on it. So I think that'll look striking. Okay, time to take these clamps off and see how it feels. Well, this has come out all right, to be honest. That is pretty rigid for considering all there is on that. Obviously, there's lots more support to have to put on. I've got to put a shelf in the middle, a couple of uprights. This is where the sink's going to be, and I haven't chosen a sink yet, so I don't really be kind of putting too many uprights in. I'm not sure if the sink should be in the middle of this window, so there, or kind of a bit closer to the hobs, which are going to be there. So I haven't quite worked that out yet, but I think for the moment what I need to do is just shore that one up there a little bit, and then start fiberglassing the insides now this is all done. But yeah, it's brought it in line nicely. This is decent. Okay, I've got my resin and hardener mixed up. I've got all the bits cut for the fiberglass. Now I've got to crouch myself inside the galley and start fiberglassing. That edge first. The resin bled through that very, very thin bit of veneer. So I'm going to hopefully be able to sand a bit of that back once it's all dried off, and the varnish will hopefully disguise a bit of that. And hopefully it will, because this is a bit of a leading edge. But the rest of it has gone on pretty well for the first coating of fiberglass. Yeah, it's gone on really nicely actually. Messy around there and all that, but I'm painting the inside of all the cupboards anyway, so it'll hide all of that stuff. And I resined all of this just to give it a bit more rigidity. But yeah, this is looking pretty decent at the moment. And I think I've made up my mind to put the sink in the middle of the window. I think that's logical. If it's too close to there, then I don't know, it's a bit restrictive maybe. So yeah, I think I'll put it there, in which case I can put in some kind of battening across there, just to shore it up a bit more once I've chosen my sink. But yeah, I'm going to start to varnish this now. Whilst the resin is setting, I can sand this back, all of this stuff, and yeah, start applying some varnish. Well, just after one coat, it's already starting to bring the grain out. This one had 4 coats of satin and then 1 coat of gloss. Yeah, that's decent. Yeah, that's going to be a well nice pattern down there. Happy days. Right, I've moved the boats around a little bit now, so the bow doors of this boat are kind of near the pathway because we've got a lot of boards to bring in. I've got 6 9mm boards, 2 18mm boards, and 2 5mm boards. So I've got 10 boards in total. So I think I've got enough room to squeeze them all in here. Oh, look at Rob relaxing in the sun on the bow. Let's get him to help slap some timber. Rob and his friend are moving the 18mm board whilst I look at the new 9mm board just come in today. Well, this is pretty decent. Beach faced 18mm ply boards. I got a damn good deal on them at Travis. Now I got to bring in all of that lot. I've got it all on. I've got 2 5mm, I've got 6 9mm, 2 18s, and I've still got the 2 ceiling sheets and 1 more 9. So that is all the timber I need to basically finish fitting out the main bits of the boat. Right, I'm reversing back to the winding point where there's a wide beam parked. So I'm going to see if I can squeeze myself around and then reverse back to Rob's boat. Right, here's the winding point. The wide beam has moved. So I've got to get my bow right under that bollard over there. Oh, I think this one might actually work. Well, that was successful. Now I've got to reverse back. All of this so Rob and I are in formation for when we set off, I think, tomorrow. Right, that's dry. Time to apply coat 2. Right, coat 2 is drying. Cerium is pointing that way. Serafina's pointing that way. Slow Patrol is pointing that way. So we are going to turn about because we are heading up towards Ivinghoe. There is a stoppage. Someone on the channel mentioned a stoppage, and there is. I think it's a broken lock gate just at the top of Marsworth. So we're going to be not there for a couple of weeks anyway, so it should be done by then. Right, you're gonna have to listen very carefully. Don't know if you can make this out on the camera, but the lister's running. So started on the first turn, which is rather relieving since she hasn't been turned on for a while. Right, now I've just got to reverse slow a little bit and turn her about opposite the pub basically, which is a bit embarrassing, but that's I can do it on this boat, which is only 43 foot. Happy days. This is good timing indeed. I had to use petrol station coal for the last couple of nights, which is rubbish and expensive. At least Kevin's stuff is good and expensive. They've got some fuel logs, I might give that a go. I need coal.
I haven't got a plank on my side.
Thank you.
How am I doing?
Yeah, just down there. Cool. Thank you. Cheers, my dear.
Nice fat bag as well.
Thank you. Another one of them, please. Hello, Amber. Good morning, girl. Right, now it's Rob's turn to fill up. Right, time to carry on varnishing. I'm chuffed to bits with this timber I got on from Travis Perkins. The 5.5mm boards are also beach face ply, and the detail on some of these is really nice, and obviously that's going to make up the inserts for the pocket doors. This stuff here, which is the bathroom pocket door, which is the middle of the three, is kind of, I don't think that might be beach, but I think I'm gonna have to find like really interesting patterns and like bits like that if I can get them in the right place. So there's those two, The 9mm stuff, there's some really interesting bits on this, so I'm going to select them. And the 18mm stuff looked amazing. However, I'm going to be not using it as beach face, which is slightly annoying. But yeah, that is looking decent, that stuff. The other thing which is looking pretty good is that unit there. It's got a nice, the waist take. All right, bud, see you in a minute, mate. Yeah, it's got a nice kind of shine on that corner there, a little bit like how those ones have. So yeah, I think that once that's dried off, that is going to be decent. I can't remember how many coats of it I put on that. I think I just did one of the yacht varnish. Yeah, this is decent. Right, I'm going to let that dry. And to help the drying of the varnish, I'm going to be lighting the reflex again, which I haven't done since I put the ceiling in. So I'm going to be putting on a fairly lowish setting. I'll just be gauging the heat around here. I've never had it on with that ring plate on there. Obviously not with the sapele or the ceiling or anything. So I just want to make sure there's no warmth or no significant heat around any of that stuff. Stove's been on for maybe 4 or 5 hours. Obviously there's warmth up here because heat rises and that's hot. But it's not hot at all really, because I can touch all that. Obviously the flue's hot, but because it's stainless steel, it doesn't retain any heat. It's thin as you like, so I can go really close to it and there's no warmth there at all. Obviously if I was to touch it, it'd be baking hot. So I think this is going to work out okay. There's no real heat there, apart from, as I said, just the heat rising. So I think that is going to be absolutely fine. I've kind of put a varnish on a little bit thick on that side. The positioning wasn't particularly good, but I'm happy with how it's all gone on this side here. I reckon it's going to be, well, I'll see what it's like when it's all dried off, but it's got a nice kind of sheen to it at the moment. A little bit like that, and I think the colouring is about right. So yeah, this is version 2 is much better than version 1. I'm kind of quite happy I broke into it. I think this is already a lot more rigid and secure. Obviously now I know where the sink's going to be. Once I've chosen the sink, I'll batten and secure it all in, put some uprights in to kind of keep it all sturdy, and then the worktop, or the countertop as Marlon keeps calling it, it is going to be resting on this stuff, but not only that, because obviously I think that it's not exactly going to be particularly load bearing, so I'm going to have to put in some uprights, kind of just, you know, literally a mil higher than this stuff, so it's kind of sitting on there, I'm reckoning. But either which way, I think, yeah, this is going to be all right. Worktop is going to be coming soon. I mean, I've got the timber on board, just kind of working out what I'm doing with it all. But that will be revealed soon. But today I've got to move the boat, so Rob and I are going up to Dudswell. So yeah, that's going to be our first kind of trip out of Berkhamsted before we hit the countryside for a couple of months. Thanks for watching. Until next time, take care. Bye bye.